In the beginning, there was no doubt or question. Darkness so perfect, it did not meet its other. I am the goddess of magic, she said. And that's how stars were born, as if the great switch turned on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our channel. Here we share with you the latest findings from the greatest engineers of our generation. So, there are 450 steps that 7 NASA bioengineers need to perform in order to install a wafer in the brain. Some of those steps are rather easy, like fixing an EEG to the skull. Others are not very pleasant. They involve cranial drills, wire saws, hooks, cranes, needles, and spatulas. All of it outlined in great detail in the Manual of Neural Interface Implementation for Improved Communication between the wafer, the brain, and the spacecraft. If successful, it will allow Sally Ride to go on a solo mission to Mars. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for remaining with us. Now it's time to learn some history. So, as all of you know, all previous attempts resulted in failure. In some cases, the brave women were left paralyzed. In others, the electronic matter needed to be removed within 24 hours. And oh yes, they were only women. A group of 12 women was selected for the New Women's Space Program. Collectively known as the Sally Rides Club, they trained relentlessly for a period of 3 years. They practiced spacewalks submerged in water tanks the size of 3 football fields. They studied adaptation to isolation and confinement. They also learned those mundane things, such as dealing with radiation, learning how to self-suture, or how to change out the urine receptacle. Ladies and gentlemen, great news! After 3 decades of in-depth studies, it was found that although space travel causes 10% loss of bone mass every 4 weeks, 1% loss of energy every 3 months, and a horrific impact on the psyche. Yes, the president, vice president, and all the heads of cabinets decided that only a woman, biologically predisposed to bone mass loss at menopause, culturally trained to accept exclusion, and socially adapted to performing more tasks than possible. Oh yes, only a woman can go on a solo mission to Mars. I noticed that Sally overuses the words such as lucky and great. Great is her mood. Great are her vitals. How great that we are a part of this mission. How wonderful that we will save some, I meant the rich, from the catastrophic impact of climate change. How wonderful that we will settle on Mars. How great that we will be the first ones there. How great that we, as women, will be responsible for creating this world. Actually, how great that it will finally become clear that it was a woman who created the world. Leading wherever I choose, henceforth I have not good fortune. I myself am good fortune, henceforth I whimper no more, swallow no more, need nothing strong and content. I've traveled the open road. Control, day 129. We have not heard from you in 25 days. Sally says it's just a glitch or malfunction, and yet I can tell she is worried. At night, she dreams about ships sinking, planes crushing, genocide. By day, she daydreams of the Earth's delights, like oranges, or crafting a text message from emojis and sending it to a friend. Although I have my doubts if we can survive, I tell her we're almost there. And then she says she has to consider what it means if she fails. Temperature will rise over 5,000 Fahrenheit, dust swirling, convecting rising of air. And this spaceship, she and I, turned into debris vagabonds. I tell her we're almost there. I tell her, as her therapist, it is my obligation to note it is just FKBP5, the so-called trauma gene. I tell her it will stay there for 16 generations. I tell her that she should feel her experience is validated. She says she's not sure if we will survive. Control, day 450. Death and destruction behind us, death and destruction ahead. With no country or land, it is the power of the powerless to know freedom. That moment after a goodbye, before there's hello, that moment after you say goodbye and you're no longer sure anyone ever will hear your hello. Thank you very much.